Good morning, good morning, good morning. So, today we are going to chat about the element of the fuck it button. So, what we are going to talk about today is the element of the fuck it button or the feck it button and how to stop pressing that, because I know this is one of the things that a lot of people can struggle with. It can be a hard cycle to break for an awful lot of people. And I know exactly where you guys are at if you are in that mindset and headspace in relation to pressing it and not pressing it. I've been there, going on nights out, restricting my calories all the way through the week, intentionally or unintentionally, consciously or subconsciously, and then thinking that I've been good all week because I've said no to a few things in the office, and then you get that knot in your stomach after you've been out on a night out, a few drinks, a few meals, and you're kind of like, you know what, fuck it, let's just fuck it. But I think this is what we want to try and get is from that Friday confidence in yourself and get you away from that Sundays or Monday self-loathing piece that a lot of people can't feel, because that's what it can feel like. And I want you to think about I'm going to paint a picture for you. So, Sunday evening, 7 or 8 p.m, and you're in the kitchen. And before you know it, the food is on the counter, the takeaway things are on the counter, and there's a few bottles of beer, or there's a glass of wine, or a couple of glasses of wine. The whole mindset of I deserve this is in play. The chocolate wrappers you thought were hidden, they're out in the counter, and you're still peeking out, and they're kind of still screaming, I want more, because what's the point anymore? What is the point? You're standing in wreckage, or perceived wreckage, what was supposed to be a normal weekend, or I've been good all week, and you're kind of going into this method of the fuck it button or the feck it button, to be a little bit more polite. I know in Ireland we say feck and it's not a curse word, but the other word is. So the button, what it can feel like is, it feels like we've ruined everything, so we might as well go all out. The button that turns a Saturday brunch into a 3-day food festival. The button that makes you feel like two different people. Salad Susan during the week and Bold Betty on the weekend. That's what it can make you feel like. There's Monday to Friday. You have structure. You have routine. You know what you're eating. You are saying, you're acting like the person you want to become. And you feel proud. You feel proud, you know what? I feel I'm getting this. I feel I'm getting this. And then there's the weekend you. The one, that voice that seems hell-bent on destroying everything Monday to Friday has done. So if you're nodding to yourself right now and saying that's you, if you feel that kind of punch in the gut, proverbial punch in the gut, that this is you, this is your story, I want you to continue to listen, because I'm going to tell you and advise you on how to kind of break this cycle, because it is important. Because we're going to talk about why you keep pressing it, and more importantly, how to press a different button. Okay, so I'm going to tell you about a client, right? I'm going to tell you about a client that I had. Her name was Emma. She came to me about 3 months ago, and her story may sound familiar. She said, I'm like Jekyll and Hyde. Monday through Friday, I'm disciplined. I track the food. I get my sessions in. There's more structure. I feel like I'm getting this. I feel like I'm getting my structure together. But then Friday hits. I'm tired. Kids are at me. Work is at me. I'm drained from the whole week. And then this element of, I feel I deserve to live a little bit. Someone says, I'll just have something. That one something won't hurt. And it won't hurt. But that voice goes into full Tasmanian Devil's mindset. And they say, let's go out for dinner. Spontaneous dinner. Our brain freaks out that if we have this dinner, I'm going to go the other way. I'm going to go the other extreme. because except that it's not just one dinner, because we know this friend is inviting us out, and we know we end up going for drinks. It ends up being a late night, and before you know it, we've had a 5-course meal, we've had a few drinks, we've ended up getting a chipper on the way home, because we've done this already. We're well practiced and well versed in this. Then this Saturday morning we go out for brunch, we go out for lunch with the kids, then we feel the damage is done, and then Sunday you go over to your parents and it's Sunday roast and all the trimmings, and we'll say to ourselves, I'll start fresh tomorrow. Or we decide even to throw in a little bit more fuel into the fire to step on the scales. The scales isn't positive reading for Emma, but it's obviously not going to be positive reading. Not from any moral failing, but there's going to be a little bit more food in the stomach. It's like a plastic bag. It's going to be a little bit more food in the stomach, so the scales will go up, because it can't measure fat loss, but also can't measure your mindset. It can't measure your non-scale victories. It can't measure your positive changes. And by Sunday night, you're sitting in the living room, emotional, planning another Monday, another restart, the thing that you do 52 times the year, which is to restart the diet on the Monday, calculating how much weight you've maybe gained, or you've looked at the scales and said, right, I've messed this up, so I might as well continue. The worst part about what Emma's going through right now isn't the food choices. It isn't the food choices. It's the guilt and shame that Emma has been feeling. It's the story that Emma is telling herself about these choices. The story that she's weak, that she's undisciplined, she's destined to fail, she's not worthy. They're the stories that are disrupting things. Nothing to do with her ability. And the big thing we need to realise is the feck it button or the fuck it button, it isn't a food problem. It is not a food problem. It's not even a willpower problem. It's not a discipline problem. It's a thinking problem. It's a mindset problem. So it's not a you problem. But it can be very hard. Food is such an emotional thing that it can be very hard to disassociate ourselves from logic and emotion when it comes to food. Okay? And every time that we press that button, you're not just choosing the extra food. We're choosing to believe a story about ourselves that's keeping you trapped. The story that says you're either on plan or off plan. You're perfect or hopeless. Good or bad. The story that says Friday to Sunday moments define you more than the Monday to Friday. Who is showing up consistently, makes better choices in line with where they want to go. But what if I told you that story that you're telling yourself is a complete and utter horseshit? It's an absolute lie. You're lying to yourself. What if I told you that the person or the woman or the man, the person who reaches their goal weight, keeps it off, and it doesn't have perfect weeks, doesn't have perfect weekends. She just has a different relationship with imperfect ones. And that's the big thing. Imperfect weekends and imperfect weeks are what gets people to where they want to go. Being perfect is a fallacy that we are attached to because it's nothing to do with the food. It's an ideology that has been built for us from being a kid, that we need to go all the time and never relax. Or it's a time that we're trying to get validation and acceptance from parents, that we feel that if we don't be perfect, we're never going to get that validation. Or we could be the middle kid and we want to stand out, so in order to get that, or that unattainable love and affection, we feel that we need to be perfect for that. Or we could be a high achiever, or one thing that we can't control is this, or we're trying to control our body image, so the one way to control our body image is the weight, and how do we control our weight is food. So when we lose that control mechanism, we're feeling that out of control after pressing the fuck up button, it's like a bar of soap. It can feel slippy and fall out of our hands. But that story is a lie. Because we know that life isn't just in a meal prep container. We know that the importance of connection for you. We know that the importance of seeing people, celebration, even having a party, your kid's birthday, your 40th, your 50th, are part of life. These events will happen. But more importantly, we also know that your progress isn't as fragile as you've been told or making it out to be. It isn't that fragile. Because the reality and the harsh truth is you don't want to know. Your weekend didn't undo your progress. Your thoughts about your weekend will. That's the harsh reality. So, where's Emma now after the 3 months, right? So Emma is still with me. And instead of me actually teaching Emma to have perfect weekends, which, let's be honest, is code for boring, restrictive, being sad at Susan, having no life, not seeing your mates, not going out with your kids, not making memories. I taught her how to press a different button. What's that button, you may ask? I taught her that her worth isn't determined by her weekend food choices. That progress isn't linear. The person who succeeds long term isn't the one who never has the cake. Isn't the person that never emotionally eats. It isn't the person who never has cravings. It's not the person who never stress eats. The person who goes long term isn't the one that never makes mistakes. It's the one that doesn't let the mistakes derail her story. So we're about 5 months in and Emma's lost about 18 pounds. More importantly, she stopped spending Sunday nights 52 times a year beating herself up, crying on the couch. Goes out for brunch, brings her kids out, still enjoys dinner with friends, couple of drinks, still has wine on Friday nights, has a date night with her husband. The difference? She doesn't press the fuck it button anymore. Because we can be very well versed in pressing it. But because she's learned something and has a new tool in her arsenal, that's changed everything. Those weekends don't derail anyone. They become a story that we are well versed and well practiced in. So now we practice the other method of just getting back into routine. It is a choice. Now, if you're sitting here listening to this or watching this video and you're thinking, this sounds amazing. How do I do this? How do I actually stop pressing this button? How do I navigate social events, social situations without feeling deprived or out of control? I'm going to go through the sheet here. Okay? So what I work with on my clients is the element of a weekly calorie average. So I know some people hate this analogy of the weekly calorie average, but it can help people. So the best way to think about a weekly calorie average is a weekly budget, like money. So if you have, say, the easiest numbers in my head, this coffee hasn't hit my brain yet. So if you have €2,000 to spend in a week or in a day, 7 days a week, that's 14,000 calories across the week. So once you're within that deficit over a period of time, weight loss will happen and fat loss will happen. If you're a little bit over it continuously, fat gain will happen. So think of it like a weekly budget. So just like when you have money, because money is the other emotional piece that a lot of people can get attached to. And we can see that on traders at the minute, that a lot of people are kind of emotional with it. So you may be like this on the weekends. On Monday, 1,700 calories. Tuesday, 1,600 calories. 1,700 calories on Wednesday. Thursday, you go up to 1,900 calories. And then your Friday night is 2,600 calories. And you might be in your head, I have messed everything up. But why don't we just kind of go back into practicing and say, all right, what do I need right now? Because nothing derails. You don't get derailed by one decision. You don't get derailed by two decisions. It snowballs into decisions because we panic, we feel out of control, we self-loathe. But nothing positive comes out of change. Nothing positive comes out of self-loathing. Change does not come out of self-loathing. It's a tool and a tactic that we've adapted through trying to control. So no one else can see us. So we fail in silence. But we can't fail food. Food's not a moral failing. It's not a moral test. We can't fail food. It's always going to be there. It's always going to be there. So how do we navigate this? We just go back into our routine. So we can see here on these calories here that I've kind of written in: Monday 17, Tuesday 16, Wednesday 17, Thursday 19, Friday 26, 18 on Saturday. Not 1200 calories, not 1300 calories, and Sunday 1900 calories. And we can see the average calories that have been happening for the week is 1885. Remember, the number that we had set was a range of about 1800 to 2000 calories for this client, and this is Emma's numbers. So as long as this calorie average over here is within the range that we've set here, we should fly it, and we do that for a couple of weeks. But it is a conscious decision, because if we constantly believe that a night out, a meal out, a couple of drinks is going to derail us or ruin everything for the week, you've latched onto that narrative and you're going to constantly prove yourself correct. You're going to constantly prove yourself correct by doing that. But the harsh reality is it's not about discipline, not about willpower. There will be less structure on the weekends, but we can bring in some structure. It's not that every meal needs to be planned. So, for example, the weekend that's ahead for myself, and this is how I will navigate it. I have a wedding on Friday. And the big thing is, I have to put this out, I don't drink. But at the same time, the exhaustion, the tiredness, the lack of energy, lower mood, etc. will still happen. But I know on Friday, I'll wake up, working in the morning, and then driving down to the wedding for the afternoon and coming back that night. I know that I'll probably get in at like 3, half 3 in the morning, still be exhausted. But I know Friday morning, just have my regular breakfast. I'll make sure to have something solid. The wedding's not until, we'll be down there for 2, wedding's at 3. I know I'll have something solid, normal, what I would normally have before I leave the house, so that I'm not sitting there, because at weddings, you can get tired all day and you can start to pick all day. But I'm going to have something so I have enough energy to nourish myself, so I'm not getting hungry. Then I'll just enjoy the 3 course. I know already what's happening because we have to order the food in advance, so I know already what I'm having. Enjoy the 3 course meal. Have a little bit of the cake, a little bit of the nibbles that are there. But I haven't undone anything. Haven't derailed anything. Yes, there's 2, 3 decisions that aren't my usual pattern. But I have a choice in how I act after that. Not from a lack of discipline, but it's an imperfect week. Like, I'm also trying to get ready for my own wedding in 7 weeks. So I am trying to hone in. I'm not really changing anything drastic. Still have meals out, etc. Still have nights and stuff like that. But all I'm going to be doing on the Saturday is get back in whenever I wake up on that morning, have my cup of coffee with my smoothie. My lunch generally will be something simple like a sandwich on Saturday. And then the date night on Saturday night will be a barbecue pizza. But all that took is getting the ingredients into the house to take the mindset, to take the mood out of it. But if we constantly think one decision is going to derail us, one meal out is going to derail us, you're going to be right every single time. So it's not a moral failing in any shape or form. You're not failing. But if you use the weekly calorie average and look at what you're on average, if you're someone who's maybe been 10% adherent over the last while, and then you are 70% adherent or 50% adherent, that's a huge return on what you've been trying to do. So if you're out this weekend, maybe just say to yourself, do you know what, I'm going to go get a bit of food shopping, or I'm going to stick something into the freezer, or I'm going to cook more on Wednesday night. Like, I know I'm in meetings until probably 6 o'clock tonight, and then we have our marriage course this evening when I'm recording this. Thankfully, I'm the one that cooks the dinner. My fiance comes home and the dinner is ready. But I know we have spaghetti bolognese in the freezer, 2 portions in the freezer that are being defrosted right now, because I know I won't have the time or the mental bandwidth after the meetings and the calls today, because I'll have half an hour. So I know that all I need to do is I need to stick on some pasta and then sit down together for half an hour, and then we have our course. But all that took was just a little bit looking forward rather than looking back and constantly looking back, think that what we've done something wrong. But that's take practice. That's taking time. So 1 action won't derail you. 2 actions won't derail you. 3 actions won't derail you. What derails people is the continuous snowball of an action. So it's not a fuck it button mentality. It's not the food that's the issue. It's working on the mindset and looking at, right, would you be as harsh as you are to your kids right now? Would you tell your kid is a useless piece of shit if they had a chocolate bar? No. So why are we adopting that mentality? What is really going on that we need to unearth? What way have you been made to feel by slimming clubs or certain other things? That is it the diet industry? 1,200 calories, you can't stick to it, that you're a problem. I know there's a program out there that has 1,200 calories and it says literally on it, if you stick to this, you will get the results. No shit, Sherlock. But what happens afterwards? There's no aftercare. 1,200 calories is what a 4-year-old girl needs. But what I want you to think about right now is the fuck it button is something that we can hide behind because we feel panicked, we feel out of control, we feel self-loathing, we still feel shame. But it's about rewriting things. It's about relearning things. And it's not that you're never going to overeat. It's never that you're going to overeat, or never. There might be weekends where you do have a little bit more, like a weekend away or whatever. But it's kind of reducing the times that it's happening and snowballing into the Monday, the Tuesday, the Wednesday, and then another week goes past. But it's not a moral failing if you do. But it's reducing the times that's happening. If it's happening every time at the minute, that's because we enjoy being right. That one meal will derail us. But if we can practice, and we've got practice at that, now we practice and say, right, let's just get back into it. Let's get a food shop in. Could we get something in? So hopefully this has helped to break free from this weekend fitness self-sabotage, fuck it button mentality. So if you have any questions at all, pop us a message, pop us a DM, whatever it might be. Or make sure to put it into the WhatsApp group. So if you have any queries, let us know.